Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess, the castle of Countess, perched high upon the hills of Hungary, was a fortress of stone and shadow. In the early 1600s, its mistress, Countess Elizabeth Báthory, commanded both fear and respect. She was wealthy beyond measure, her lands vast, her influence powerful. But behind the walls of her castle, whispers spoke of horrors that would make her name eternal. Elizabeth was beautiful, striking even in her 30s and 40s when other noble women began to fade. Her pale skin seemed untouched by time. But servants noticed her temper grew crueler with age, her eyes sharp as blades. And when young village girls were summoned to the castle, promised work, coin, or favor, many never returned. At first, the disappearances were explained away. Runaways, thieves, misfortune. But then rumors began to seep from behind the castle gates. They told of screams echoing through the stone halls at night, of girls chained in dungeons, whipped until their flesh split open, of pins driven beneath fingernails, of knives carving symbols into trembling skin. The Countess, it was said, delighted in their suffering, her laughter mingling with the cries of the dying. But the most ghastly tale was whispered by those who claimed to have seen her private chambers. One night, a servant girl accidentally pulled Elizabeth's hair too roughly while combing it. Enraged, the Countess struck her so hard that blood spattered across her hand. When Elizabeth wiped it away, she imagined the skin beneath looked smoother, younger, more radiant. From that night on, the legend was born. She began to believe that blood itself held the secret to eternal youth. They say she bathed in it, immersing herself in the crimson pools of her victims. Others swore she smeared it across her face like a mask, watching her reflection glow in the candlelight. To Elizabeth, each girl's life was nothing more than a vial of youth waiting to be drained. Over the years, the body count grew. Some claimed 50. Others swore it was hundreds. The villagers, terrified, began to call her not by name but by title, the Blood Countess. It was only when noble families noticed their daughters vanishing that the rumors could no longer be ignored. King Matthias of Hungary ordered an investigation. Soldiers stormed Countess Castle in 1610, and what they found within chilled even the hardest men. Bodies, broken, bloodless, discarded in hidden chambers. Girls chained to walls still alive, their skin carved and burned. A stench of iron and rot hung in the air. Elizabeth herself was arrested. Witnesses gave testimony, recounting the horrors they had seen, the bloodletting, the torture, the rituals. Though she never confessed, her silence was enough. She was sentenced not to execution, for her noble blood spared her the axe, but to a fate more haunting. Her servants bricked her into a windowless room of her own castle. A small slit in the wall allowed food to be passed through, but she would never again see the sky. For 4 years she lingered in darkness, alone with the ghosts of the girls whose lives she had stolen. In 1614 she was found dead upon the floor, her body cold, her eyes staring into the void. But her legend did not die with her. Even now, Countess Castle is said to echo with the cries of young women, their footsteps in the halls, their whispers in the wind. And sometimes, beneath the moonlight, locals claim to see a pale woman gazing down from the ruins, her skin unnaturally smooth, her beauty untouched by centuries. Elizabeth Báthory remains forever in history, not as a noble woman, but as one of the most infamous vampires the world has ever known, the Blood Countess.